Hi, this is Kirsten. There will be noise in the background. I'm in a really lovely place, and I think a few doors down are doing some type of house renovations, and next door they've got their boys are out and playing the football, which is cool. So if you've got noise in the background of this video, that's why. So this video, this vlog is all to do with quite a touching subject. It's about an 8-minute read, and that's excluding all of the links that I've attached into the video as well. And it's all to do with homelessness and the different take of homelessness, which I've brought to attention to everybody. And if it's possible for people to, like, I suppose, sit back, cup of tea, cup of coffee, and a bit of a realization of what's going on out there, and from a different angle, it'll be really cool. So this is what it is. So I explain in my blog, like, a different area called hidden homelessness. People always mention about, like, street homelessness, of people who are, of course, as it says, on the street, or usually for different reasons. It's like the ones that you see, and there's all those derogatory type comments about, like, being a tramp or vulnerable and all these other things. Okay, all right, we all know those ones. There is help and support out there for that category, and it is an awareness that people are known of. It's got a hell of a lot of stigma behind it as well. It's our automatic assumption because you're like a beggar, or you're down and out, okay, all those words. But there's another one, and that one actually for these number of years is becoming more and more noticeable, and that's the hidden homeless. I'm voicing out about that as being an arts consultant, and of course somebody who's come back to the UK from Malaysia. Difficult times, different coins to everybody, yes. When you're in a situation like I am, you have to go through a different twist again. And that is, and I'm publicly saying, I am one of these data statistics of being a hidden homeless. A hidden homeless, and you'll see the links, are people who are professionals. They're people with degrees. They're people which have got higher, whatever it is. Don't have a salary at the moment. Don't have anything at the minute. Some of those people are in a worse situation than I'm in, because they do have families. They do have, for example, they've got children. They've got other dependents. They might have different types of disabilities and health issues, etc., which puts them even in a worse situation. But they are hidden because they have chosen, like I have chosen, to not be someone who is on the street, not someone who is going to be standing there and saying, like, look, okay, I want to be put in one of those, like, shelters, etc. Because you, as I said at the beginning, you know the types of people that are there. I'm not saying that they're all like that, they're not. And I explain in my blog that there's been situations in the past where I have had some amazing, being an artist, amazing support from big issue sellers and street agents, if you want to call them, because of the fact that I was doing street entertaining, and you need that help. And when you're female, and on that occasion there was two of us, you take the help you can. So I know that, but I also know the other side as well. So I, like others in my situation, have chosen not to be publicly in that rins, not in hostels, not in that stuff, but we are hidden. We're safe because we are in other people's homes. We're hidden out of the way. That brings up, as I wrote down in my blog, a whole range of other areas, both in mindset. I spend a lot of time constantly feeling like a burden. I know I'm going to get it in the neck for saying that, of where I am right now. I know that. She's going to be at me. You're not a burden, blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel. But there's many others who have a whole load of other sort of, like, issues and feelings and points on it as well. You're exceptionally grateful and you're pushing through. I am not. It's difficult because you don't have a postcode, you don't have any finance, there's nothing there, because you're building up. And as I said, when you're a professional and you're in this situation, you are building up from utterly zero. The amount of things which you can't apply for, you can't assess, you can't gather, it doesn't work for you because you don't fit in those categories, because you it just it doesn't fit. You're the bottom of the pile of the list. That's okay. That's okay if you're in a safe environment, and that's where I am. I'm safe, in a very, very safe. I'm being built up brilliantly. I'm being retaught again, which is great. I'm being put on track, which is great, while also, of course, being allowed the space to be able to do what I'm doing, which is building up 4 businesses. And I'm nearly, as you all know, I'm nearly at the point of launching them and bringing everything back and stronger and more. Am I humbled more? Yeah. Have I learned a lot more of it? Yeah. Have I understand more like what this hidden homelessness is about, what it means to be a surfer, a sofa surfer, and the stigma which links to that as well. That viewpoint which I had in my previous place I was staying in, of a bit like you're like a couch potato or anything, so they just bombard you with things that you do, which you, because you feel so guilty, you feel like, as I said, you're like a burden, you're like in the way, all these other things you do extra because of it to countersend what you're doing, because you feel like completely horrid. So things like that, it's not true. You're not. I mean, I'm working, I keep being told off for this, about 18 hours a day, but I'm desperate to get things up and get things for everybody else. Salaries, benefits, things like that, I explain that in a different blog. I don't do it in this one, because I've concentrated on what is that whole mindset is, and what does it mean, and what access. I mean, even things like going to a food bank, what does that entail for somebody like me, or what I had to do. Even getting through the door is pretty tough, yeah, because you've got to tell yourself, right, okay, I can do this. You judge when you shouldn't judge. You think things which are not there. You triple guessing stuff which is not point, and even saying sometimes quite a toughie, but you do it. And it's not the best situation, but you know that you can bounce back, and everyone else who's in the same situation like me, like that, you will. I know you will. I have, and I'm doing it, and I'm proving the way. I'm voicing up because there isn't much documentation. It's just status and data, not real case studies of journeys and why and how. But because the fact I'm arts industry, and because the fact that there's all this other stuff, because of course with the virus as well, it makes it extra tricky. And I think it's that area that people are not aware of what that means, and the fact of how it affects others as well. Not wallowing, as you can gather, definitely not, and pushing on, definitely. Will never look backwards, and there's always other people in a hell of a more worse situation than I am, my god. So I know that. So I'm not asking for things, I'm just saying this is the situation which was going on with me from the minute that I've arrived back. But actually it was happening beforehand, but a lot of my friends and said didn't have a clue. And that's why I've highlighted it. There's on many occasions people don't know. We're not sitting on our bums. We're not doing things. And on many occasions we are actually trying to earn, or actually earning, but not enough to be able to do what we need to do to be able to have a long-term stability, because of other stuff that you just don't know. Backgrounds, loss of docs, situations, just, of past. Life is life, is how you make it. So that is why this video I brought up. It's been quite a hard one to do, this one, but I knew for people to understand, like through the businesses of what I've done and how I'm opening things up and how I'm looking at things differently and putting it out there, I needed to be honest to me, and also to be able to share the fact that I really am coming from a zero status. So everything I look at and everything I'm doing, it is from ground up. I am learning as I go along what is out there, but also what is able to support others, not just me, but other people, voicing it out, saying it, and saying, hey, look, that is of course nature of my work, but at the same time, if it helps other people of what I've had to do and I'm doing, I'm trying, don't say it's right, I don't know, but if it helps even one more, great. If it gives an awareness to somebody else, a little bit of reassurance that they're not alone, great. If it just gives a, oh, I didn't know that. Even better. I'm not giving any credit to any of the sites and things I've attached to. People want to know more information for that. Great, fine. Click in, have a look. If they want to do their own things because of what they're doing with those charities and others out there, brilliant. There's a lot of help which is needed, especially at this time. Not just for what you see on the telly, but just generally as a whole, there is a lot of people who are suffering which are not saying, not publicly voting, can't, as I say, can't claim, and not just here, but even over other parts of the world. I mean, where I've come from, it's just the same or worse. So it's that I'm highlighting today through my own personal journey. I am very lucky, and I say that because I'm in a situation where I am now, where I am safe and I'm being looked after brilliantly and helped along the way, and we have many a laugh. And then this morning I've been laughing completely. So absolutely brilliant where I am, and I'm now able to really, really push on, which is great. Others are not in that same boat as I am, and that's why I'm highlighting today. So have a good read. Message me if you want to know more, but I'll only explain what I can, to be honest. But this is just an outline. My next one's all to do with, like, I've got another one to do with finance, another one to do with international property from the cases that I was going through, and then I'll start to slowly and surely break down, like, to do with the website and stuff, because what you see of even there, it's all been done on a zero budget, absolutely zero, and I'm happy to admit that and happy to explain that. And then how that's been built up is what the next bits will be. So I'm doing bits in stages, but I'm doing it progressively. So hopefully, as I said, to help all. So this one's been a hard one, but need to be done and need to be said for everybody. So keep safe.